Hello and welcome. You're watching IPO Rush, Money9's latest show all about the IPOs. Here is where you get all the dose of what you need to know in the primary market space. What is buzzing? Which are the IPOs that are likely to hit the street? And should you subscribe to those IPOs or not? Everything that you need to know in the next 5 minutes. I'm Sakshi, Batra. Let's quickly start off with the IPO that we are going to talk about today. Now, after Nazara Technologies, yet another IPO backed by big bull Rakesh Junjunwala is right here, set to hit the street tomorrow. That's March 24th, and we are talking about Barbecue Nation Hospitality that owns the popular Indian cuisine casual dining chain Barbecue Nation, which actually grills potatoes to chicken tikka. And here's whether you should know whether you should take a bite of this IPO or not. Now, the company is about to raise 453 crore rupees through this IPO. There's a fresh issue of 180 crore rupees and an offer for sale of about 273 crore rupees, which combines about 54.5 lakh equity shares. Now, the minimum investment that the investors will need to do would be for one lot 15,000 rupees, as one lot comprises of 30 shares. Now, remember, the IPO is going to open tomorrow for subscription, will remain open until the 26th of March. The lot size is one lot sizes of 30 shares with a face value of 5 rupees per share. Also, the issue size in total is 453 crore rupees, and the price band that the company has set for this IPO is 498 to 500 rupees per equity share on the higher side. Now, out of this IPO, if you see what has been reserved for the QIBs is about a portion, which is the maximum portion. Let's go back to the previous slide and just show you which are the segments that we have in the IPO, which is reserved for the different segments of the investors. Now, qualified institutional buyers, that portion is reserved for about 75%. For the NIIs, it's 15%, and for retail investors, the portion that has been subscribed or reserved is 10% for the retail investor. Now, apart from this, shares worth rupees 2 crore rupees is actually saved for the eligible employees of the company as well. Now, moving on to see what is the business profile of the company. Now, remember, this Barbecue Nation Hospitality is a firm or a company that is owned by SIRG Hotels and a lot of promoters, and is backed by PE firm CX Partners and also Rakesh Junjunwala's firm Alchemy Capital. Now, the company really operates 147 Barbecue Nation restaurants, and that's across 77 cities of the country. And also, it has 6 international restaurants, and majorly of them are actually placed in UAE, in Oman, and also in Malaysia. Now, the company also owns restaurants like La Terrace and UBQ, and all of these restaurants are also in the Italian cuisine chain as well. Now, remember, there's another hospitality chain that had made a debut some years back, and that has been making a whole lot of money for investors, and that is Jubilant FoodWorks as well, which owns and operates Domino's Pizza and Dunkin' Donuts as well. Jubilant FoodWorks also owns about 11% stake in this company as well. Now, looking at the other, the promoters and the investors, that how much money do they have in the company? Look at the promoters, including SIRG Hotels and Hospitality. They own about 60.24% stake in the company. CX Partners, which is the PE equity firm, that owns about 34% stake in the company. Rakesh Junjunwala's investment firm, Alchemy Capital, holds about 2% in the company as well. Now, these are the financials on your screen. You know what kind of financials or the earnings that the company has reported so far. Now, remember, as far as FY20 is concerned, the operating revenue in FY20 was somewhere around 850.8 crore rupees. Now, CAGR, the compounded annual growth rate for the company so far from FY17 to FY20, was also robust at 19.5%. Now, apart from FY21 and a major portion of, say, April to November onwards, where the company did report some loss, and that was on the back of the lockdown and the complete shutdown of restaurants and hotels, things are looking up again as and when the lockdown restrictions were removed. And there is an expectation that the company is going to use these proceeds. The fresh issue of 180 crore rupees will be actually used towards the capital expenditure of expansion of the restaurant chains in various cities and also different countries around the world as well, and also for repayment of all the portion or of all or just a partial portion of certain outstanding borrowings that the company may have, and also that they may have availed from the banks as well on a consolidated basis, and some portion will also be used for general corporate purposes as well. Well, so far, this is what we have as far as Barbecue Nation is concerned. Whether you should go for it, subscribe to it or not, for all of those details, you can log on to money9.com to reach the expert views and the brokerage houses take as well. So for now, tomorrow is when Barbecue Nation really opens for subscription. Get on to it, do your research, read the DHRP and find out whether this IPO will also add value to your portfolio or not. Remember, this will be the third hospitality chain right after Jubilant Food Works and also Burger King that had launched its IPO last year, debuted and made a substantial, listing gain as well, created wealth for all the investors as well. So whether this will have the potential that that Burger King or maybe Jubilant Food Works has, all of those details also will be spoken about in all the detailed coverage that we will have for you on money9.com. So with that, we wrap up this edition. Whole lot on the markets front coming up right next. Stay with us.